Welcome back, Yoshi.
Good morning.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning, Yoshio. Lovely to hear your voice. Your plan sounds great. Let's do exactly that. I'm glad to jump into the description first and set the stage for you. Then we'll dive into those vocabulary words together. It'll be a fun English practice. So, you're welcome. So, let's dive into the vocabulary. We'll start with the first phrase, arrange a funeral. It's a phrase that usually means planning the details and logistics of a funeral status. Now, once you read it out loud, feel free to jump in or share a bit of commentary or a thought on it before we move on. Let's take it step by step.
Could you give me the pictures description with you first?
Absolutely. Let's get into the laundromat description. So this place has this retro vibe going on. You got stainless steel washing machines all neatly lined up, sitting on black and white checkered tiles that match the floor. The walls have this really bold split. One side's painted pink, the other side's bright blue. It's a fun, almost nostalgic twist on a usually plain space. So there you have it. Now it's over to you.
Okay. In this picture, I can see the very modern, colorful laundromat. There's a 6 new washing machine. Of course, it's including the dryer's function. Machine is settings on the platform. That platform are a little higher than the floors. That platform has black and white checkered design tiles, and floor has a white and brown checkered one. One side wall behind them colored pink, and other side is blue. I'll explain the machines. Machine has a whole circle, transparent plastic cap in the center. This photographer discovers something important meaning. For example, the convenient machine swallow humanity, or machine is just emptied. Totally impression this picture is very modern. It's like modern arts.
Right on. That was a great description on your end. Nice job. All right, let's hop into the vocabulary list and start with the phrase arrange a funeral. Go ahead and read that one out, and I'll share a quick thought on it.
Okay, I'll repeat again. Arrange a funeral.
That's perfect, Yoshio. Arrange a funeral is one of those phrases that might come up in more serious, sensitive conversations. It's essentially about making all the plans when a loved one passes away, things like deciding on the service, the venue, and the details. So it's definitely a useful phrase to know. All right, let's keep rolling. What's the next word on our list?
From the cradle to the grave.
Exactly. From the cradle to the grave is a neat little phrase that basically means from the very start of life to the very end. It's a poetic way of saying through your whole life, which is actually kind of a cool phrase to sprinkle into conversations. All right, let's keep it going. Give me the next one.
Inherit my father's property.
Absolutely, you've got it. Inherit my father's property is a phrase that just means receiving something that belonged to your father after he passes away. It's a pretty straightforward phrase. You're doing great so far. Let's keep up this rhythm, and we'll get through all your vocabulary in no time.
Okay, I move to another new vocabulary.
Sure thing, Yoshio. Let's dive into that new vocabulary word whenever you're ready. Which one are we tackling next?
Divide the inheritance.
Yeah, absolutely. So divide the inheritance is a super useful phrase, and it just means splitting up whatever is left behind among the heirs or family members. Basically, it's all about sharing out the property or assets. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. What's the next phrase on your list?
Distant relative.
Exactly, you nailed it. Distant relative is a term for a family member who's not closely related to you, like a second cousin or a great aunt. So it's perfect for those times when you're talking about family you might not see very often. All right, let's jump into the next one.
Okay, before I next new ones, I have some comment distant relatives. My ancestor, uh,
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, let's hear about your ancestors and those distant relatives. I'm all ears. Who knows? It might even give us some cool context for the next vocabularies.
my ancestor as a immigrant to United States or to the Canada. My mother's born in the California. And I don't know directly knowing, but there's many my distant relative in United States or in the Canada.
Oh, that's pretty neat. So you've got some distant relatives over in the US and Canada. That's a nice little international family connection. Maybe we'll get to use some English vocabulary related to that. All right, let's jump into the next word whenever you're ready.
My nephew and niece.
Got it. We're getting into family tied now. Nephew and niece are great words, and they just refer to your siblings' kids. So your brother's son is your nephew and your sister's daughter is your niece. All right, let's keep going from here. What's the next piece of vocabulary you want to dive into?
Money.
And money, a classic topic, Yoshio. There's always plenty of ways to weave that into a conversation. We can talk about saving up, spending, or even sharing money with family members. Let's keep the momentum going. What else is on your mind?
Okay, save money.
Absolutely. Saving money is a really good topic, and there are a lot of ways we can chat about that, whether it's budgeting or just having a little rainy day fund. We can definitely tackle that vocabulary. So let's keep the conversation rolling. What else do you want to dive into?
Okay, open an account.
Yeah, definitely. Open an account is super useful phrase, especially when we're talking about money and savings, whether it's a bank account, a savings account, or even just something for budgeting. It's all part of that financial vocabulary. All right. What other phrases do you have in mind?
An interest rate.
Yes, that's a great one. Interest rate is definitely something you'll run into when you're talking about opening accounts or saving money. It's basically the percentage the bank pays you for keeping your money there, or the percentage you pay if you're borrowing. All right, let's keep going with your vocabulary list.
Okay, Japanese interest rate is very low, but it's a problem. Japanese government has a lot of the debt, if the interest higher, they can't control the accumulated debt.
Absolutely. Accumulate debt is a really good phrase to know. It just means gradually building up what you owe over time. So it's definitely a useful piece of vocabulary. All right, let's keep this rolling. What else is on your lead?
Oh, thank you. For today's morning time is over. I enjoyed practicing English conversation with you. I'll see you tomorrow morning again.
Absolutely, Yoshio. I'm looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to chat and help you out with your English vocabulary. All right, we'll pay out right where we left off tomorrow morning. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Yoshio. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you. Everything.
You're very welcome,